Deathwatch.
Welcome to With a Whimper, a Savage Worlds adventure with Deathwatch Productions. I'm Brandon, the Game Master, and we rejoin our players in the town of Desperation. There was a battle with invading ferals, and the battle ended, and people were starting to range out in town and check on things and see who was injured and where survivors might be and take final toll of the damage. But as the session ended, when people were stepping out into the town, they heard a sound from the east, a loud, mournful whistling sound. And that's where we'll pick it back up again. So first we'll introduce our players, starting with Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris. I'm playing Ezekiel, the elven mage, and Esther, the crippled elven sharpshooter now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm Travis. I'm playing Asher, our hacker, or I guess I'm playing Craig, our orc, good with a submachine gun.
And John won't be joining us today, but he generally controls Thoradrim and Reuben, but
He's lame and gay.
I'll be doing that instead. So there you guys are. You're out in town, and let me get this map straightened out for you.
Are we our mains or?
Yeah, we'll deal with those first.
Bye-bye, Craig. Hello, Asher.
All right. You guys have the map?
I don't.
Nope, I got the old building we were at.
Okay. There you go.
Still not seeing it for me. There it goes.
All right. So there you guys are out there outside the salvage emporium. The mayor and the sheriff are walking about shouting orders and questions to people. And you hear this loud, it's loud enough to cut above like the wind and the people shouting. And it's this really long, drawn out, low whistle sound coming from the east. What do you do?
I'll start heading, kind of maybe seeing if I can like see it.
Yeah, I'll follow along.
Okay.
I don't think I have any vision on this map.
Yeah. Oh, I was like, no, I do. Okay.
See if Lobo does. Nope. I clicked on Lobo and I lost sight of everything, including Asher.
Okay. Let me fix that for you. All right. So it is, can you see now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So it is, getting on towards dark now. It's dusk, which does limit your visibility a bit. But when you, Ezekiel, when you get up there to where you moved and you look off to the east, the dust, the wind is not as bad. The storm's basically spent itself now, but there's still enough wind to blow the dust around. But so you're seeing intermittent flashes of light
Off to the east.
Off in the east, yeah.
Not thunder, like electronic light, or is it lightning?
No, it looks like a electronic light.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll kind of look towards Asher, just shout out over the wind, like, see flashes.
Yeah, I will have been following along behind, and I will say, well, we got to check that out. Wonder what it could be.
All right. So,
Now I lost everything again.
Yeah, now that I've kind of calmed down from my earlier wanting to just go off into the waste, and I'm wounded, I'll kind of look up towards the sky and look back at Asher and be like, sun's getting low.
yeah. So when you're looking down that way, the sun's, behind you, and it has dropped pretty low. And so it does limit the visibility. But when you are looking down there and you're like, hey, Asher, we've got some light down here, and Asher comes to look, the ranger also comes to look. And so she's standing next to you, staring down the railroad tracks in that direction. And in a few moments, you start to feel like a vibration in the earth, right? And this light keeps becoming visible intermittently as the dust blows around. And once you start to feel that vibration in the earth, the ranger makes some sound like And without a word, she turns and moves off in the direction of the salvage emporium.
I'll look at Asher and shrug my shoulders.
Guess we'll go back if she's not going to go check it out.
Whatever it is making a ruckus, though.
Yeah.
But if Asher isn't going to, like, call me a pussy and dare me to go look at these lights, I'm going to agree that we should go back to the Emporium.
Well, it's definitely clear when the light is intermittently visible that it is getting closer.
Okay, I was going to say something like that, too. Like, it's getting closer. But think we should get ready to ambush?
Yeah. Let's do that.
Can I make like a smarts to guesstimate at the flashes
Yep.
distance and like how close they're coming?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do smarts.
Is Lobo
4.
reacting to that sound at all?
No, he looked in that direction, but
Couldn't be. It's like when you're watching the best show of all time and your dog just couldn't care less.
yeah.
Dogs.
Yeah, let me get them on here.
Did I maybe get moved into,
Void.
that I can't see out of or something like that?
You might be in a wall.
Yeah, I know it's how it works on Roll20. Like if I had a little box that was a lighting sight blocker type thing, if you put them in it, they would just be in the nowhere. Never mind, I fixed it.
There's something that Roll20 added that I really like where you can drag handouts onto the map.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that and then hiding them so it's like, say like a gas station.
Yeah.
So I can, when you go past it, I can pop it up. It has a short description.
Yeah. That is really cool. That's one of the few ones in recent times. Doesn't seem to take a big performance hit either. So I'm like, oh, I like that. They've been stuck in making their lighting system better forever, it seemed like.
Yeah. Because I still haven't cleaned up my damn chipset drivers. So it's constantly causing them to crash. Yeah, I gotta be careful firing up everything and then Roll20.
Yeah, it takes a big performance hit. If I did like a D&D dungeon crawler type thing, which I might do for the boys one day, I'll for sure want to utilize all that stuff. That or I'll get like the actual models and figurines again, because I've been looking at 3D printers for miniatures.
Dude, if you get one, I have forever wanted to have a real good reason to learn how to 3D model.
Yeah.
I will learn how to 3D model, and if you'll let me print something off, like I'll pay for the stuff.
No, I'd let you use it all the time. One of my things I wanted to do is for Call of Cthulhu is if you had a character die, like give you a little figurine as a memorial.
You should print off little urns.
Yeah.
For 'em, hang them on the back like a keychain.
Right.
Yeah, it's one of those where like I'm almost to the point where it's either I start learning in some 3D program how to sculpt, or I'm going to start buying clay or marble.
Right.
Because it's something I've been wanting to try forever. It's a good way to learn anatomy too.
Okay, so where are you guys going to move?
Well, if these are drawn near, I think I might, and me and Asher are stupid enough to actually try to ambush something if it's looking dangerous.
Yeah,
Maybe we should go talk to the sheriff. Or not the sheriff, the ranger or whatever.
he's just going to tell us to get back and stay inside.
I'm
That's all
talking.
the ranger?
Yeah.
I don't know. Zeke, she kind of frightens me.
she seems to know, and she's not too worried. Well, hard to tell with her though.
Yeah, you're probably right. Let's go see what she thinks.
We could use her as a bullet shield if it gets hairy. So yeah, I guess we'll go follow the ranger
Back into the Emporium.
and to go question her. You want me to do the talking? If you're
You'll
too
be
scared.
good cop, I'll be bad cop. Sure, Zeke. Yeah.
Well, I was joking.
Right.
But yeah, I'll play good cop. I figure Asher isn't joking about that.
Yeah, well, if we get the chance, then Brandon, that's the plan. Follow her back inside the Emporium, and then I'll be like, you know what that is?
She didn't go back inside. She
Oh.
walked along the front of it over to the western side of it,
Oh, okay.
but she's still outside. But we can move you guys down there to talk to her.
Who's got the better, like, just random stranger approach game? Is it Asher or is it Or is it Ezekiel?
I think we both would annoy them, but in different ways.
Yeah.
So it's a coin toss. What we needed Thoradrim here to come in with that stalwart dwarf.
I do have persuasion.
Well, then you're probably statistically better.
It's just that the stutter
Right.
makes it a negative.
Yeah, I mean, I have it at a 6.
Yeah, me too.
So, in my barrage of questions and non sequiturs.
Yeah, so I'll do the most annoying thing you can do to a woman that is older than you, and I'll call her ma'am. So
Ma'am.
I'll be like, excuse me, ma'am.
And then I'll be like, how old are you? Curious minds want to know.
All right. So when you guys get to her, she's over where everybody ties up horses, and she's working on getting hers ready. She's working on her horse, untying it and getting the saddle tightened and everything. And so when you approach and say what you say, she just looks and she's like, bad news. Time for me to clear out.
Why? What? More ferals or what?
No. Nope, it's the train.
That the light to the east, ma'am?
That's the train.
So that's that. Is that going to come through on those tracks we were fighting on earlier?
Yeah.
Where on the map was that?
Do we gotta be worried, ma'am?
Well, nobody has anything good to say about that train.
Oh, so is there any background lore for this train? Has it ever come this way before?
No. The background lore, people have seen like the tracks, obviously, in town forever. And so when you ask the old timers, they'll say it was a train tracks from the old world, and they'll try to explain what a train was. And you can still see pictures here and there, so like what the basic shape and the idea behind a train was. But there are those who will get a little glimmer in their eye, like they're being mischievous, and they'll whisper about a ghost train that still comes through from time to time, and it's they'll say the train is alive.
Yeah.
And it travels where it wants to.
So I could have sworn.
And they say that it roams the wasteland looking for people to eat.
A previous battle that we were running along tracks here. I see it at the edge of the map. Does it run through the center of town there where we're looking at?
Mm-hmm.
Or did I just make
Can
it
you
up?
not see the tracks?
No, maybe the map's bugging out then. I can't see them now. I see the very edge, like right here. And I could have sworn we were running this way, like doing a beat and a retreat battle, right?
That's weird. The track is weird.
Okay. Man, there's no track coming through here. We don't got to worry about
Do you
a
see
track.
the tracks on yours?
Is it on a GM layer maybe?
Okay, let me check.
Because it wasn't at one point.
Well, I think that kind of works for a ghost track. That'd be kind of...
Watch them rise out of the sand as the train's coming. It's kind of a cool idea.
Should be visible.
Well, I think if she starts talking about a ghost train, I have too many questions at one time to get out because it's kind of not Asher's wheelhouse. But we had that experience with the girl that I saw some evidence of, but not as much as Zeke did. So I'm trying to figure out how, because I'm like a tech guy. So I'll probably figure if there's a train, there's people, and that's the worst you got to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
But would a ranger being spooked by it? Because they're kind of mythical too, for our perspective.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like this would be the first one we'd see. Yeah. So I'd say my curiosity rather than my good sense would win out. Probably find myself taking steps back towards the track, looking down at the light coming.
Yeah, so there's not, like nobody has any, that's all just like stories. They say the train goes across the wasteland looking for people to eat. No one's ever seen it. But now, something's definitely coming down the tracks, and the ranger definitely thinks it's the train. So, but she says it's bad news, and it's time for her to be moving on anyways, is what she says. And she continues with her horse, and then without a word, she hops up on its back and off to the west.
Out of our lives for good. Do you think we should warn the sheriff?
Yeah, that'd probably be smart.
All right. You're Good cop this time.
Okay. I didn't even really get a chance to be bad. I'll clam up in front of the sheriff, too. I hate authority, but I'm scared of it.
Afeared.
Okay. So what next?
So we go back into the Emporium, and, we're kind of basically like, there's a train coming on the tracks that run through town to the sheriff.
Yeah. So he looks at you and he's like, "What are you talking about?" But then he feels the rumble. He starts to feel that.
And it was blowing its whistle like at the end of last session, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't you hear?
Yeah. No, he did. He's hard of hearing.
Well,
So he's like he stops to listen and he feels that rumble and he's like, "Everybody get back inside." And he starts shouting. He starts heading out to shout people to get back inside.
hey, the ranger lady said it was a ghost train.
Well, I don't know anything about that, but we've never had one come through. And the way things are going lately, can't be good news.
I'm going to try to be bad cop. I'm going to try to call him or say that he wouldn't know anything about it because he's a backwater hick, basically. But I'll just get stuck on the you part. So I'll be, you.
So he reads it as like, it'll be all right. So
Yeah.
we're going to make it through. We always do.
And Zeke's face will turn bright red on that one. He'll kind of angrily look at Asher like, why didn't you step up and be bad cop? You know I'm bad at this.
So he starts shouting and people start moving back inside the Emporium there. And this rumble's getting louder and louder. And the whistle goes again. This time it's like very close and it's actually painful how loud it is. And you can see when you look down those tracks, just this enormous, angry, blunt steel
Looking engine
thing
car coming.
approaching.
Yeah, it
And
seems
now you can see that there's like angry black smoke billowing out of it
So
as it approaches.
Locomotive type?
so we can look
Or
at
is it like a mix between the two?
Yeah, well, from what you're seeing right now, that's what it would look like
Okay.
a locomotive. But it's got the smoke billowing up. And as you're looking at it now, it's going like, I mean, it's hauling. It's crazy how fast this thing is going.
Dude, there are feral bodies on the tracks because we fought them around there, didn't we?
Yeah,
So it's going to spread them all
does
over.
it have the cattle guard
it does.
on it?
Yeah. Yeah. So, but it doesn't look like that.
Right.
It looks like it was made.
Teeth. And
No, it's got like blades that seem to be whirling, right? And as it gets closer and reaches the outskirts of town where there were bodies, then you can see that it just pops them and starts and spraying blood and viscera in every direction. And you estimate when it reaches that section, the outskirts of town, when the front of it does, you estimate that it's going faster than any horse can run. And from your guys' vantage point, it seems like it stretches on for eternity.
All good trains do, even modern ones.
Yeah.
well, I'll be damned. That is a haunted train.
So, are you gonna? What do you do now? You're all outside the salvage emporium. You're looking
Yeah.
down the tracks. You see the train approaching.
Was the sheriff? Didn't he usher us all in? Or
I mean, he's
he's
telling
trying to?
everybody to get inside, but
well, I feel like it would
he's
be
not
an-
like staying on you to say. He's just like shouting the order and moving around.
Yeah, I think it would be kind of a madness for Asher and his personality to go into an enclosed area and just hear something coming like that. So I'm definitely going to stay out here unless somebody starts pulling me. But probably we've been fighting for a little while now, so I'm all just like slack-jawed looking at this freaking, like my doom.
Yeah.
Good run, Zeke. This is the end.
Yeah, if Asher says anything like that, I'll just nod back and
Okay.
prepare to start slinging
I don't have
spells.
my gun ready, but
You can see down towards the front entrance of the Salvage Emporium that Esther and Craig and Reuben are on the porch there.
right.
And they look back at you guys for a moment, but then they look back at the train and they are like edging back against the wall.
yeah, I'd probably be doing the same thing. too.
But they're staying outside as well. For Esther's part, she's like
Hobbling.
leaning all of her weight on Reuben,
Yeah.
but you can see that she's starting to work with her rifle, getting the rounds ready to go. But then it whistles again, and it's like it comes from on top of you.
Right.
And there's the whole building that you're standing outside of starts shaking,
Shattering windows.
and glass is breaking. Things are falling down. You can hear screams from inside because it makes sense to you that something might have fallen on somebody in there and injured them. But then you see that train get to like the front of it with its blood-covered, bone-covered cattle guard. When the front part of that reaches parallel with the salvage emporium, you can see like that, the visible mechanism, the locomotive.
Yeah.
You can see it stop, and then there's this scream as it
Sparks
applies
start
its
flying.
brakes. Yeah. Yeah, so sparks start flying off of all of these sections that are attached to the rails, and it does that whistle yet again on top of it. But with as fast as it's going to blow right through town.
Right.
Well, at least the front part of it is.
But it doesn't.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
That it should, but it doesn't. And it comes to a stop, like a dead stop, almost like suddenly. Too suddenly for something that large anyway. And it comes to a stop, and then you hear like this, and it goes down the row out to eternity as far as you can tell, because you can't see the end of it.
Right.
But it goes down the row with these loud pop and hiss from each section of it. And you can see there, now that it's stopped, that it's separated into sections that are coupled together, like the pictures that you've seen. And all you can see is naked, bare metal, right? Like there's no, there are sections, especially on the front car, where it looks like there's a glassy substance, but you can't, it's too dark to see in. And you can see looking down the line that there are a lot of the individual cars that are like open at the top, but you obviously can't see what's inside those. And here, let me share this. So basically the front car stops perfectly in front of you guys where you're standing.
Yeah, I'm gonna figure like between my dad telling me to fight, I can't remember his name. I think, is it John's character that I fought?
Yeah.
His other one, that Ezekiel kind of has a, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna do it feet planted type attitude. Doesn't necessarily mean he's brave, but it's gonna look better than trying to run away and getting gunned down. So yeah, I'll just be kind of standing there staring it down, and I'll have all my magic ready to go, I guess, is what's happening. Anything that is looking at me sideways is going to get popped, hopefully. Because I think Zeke, especially with his connection to like the spiritual realm, like stuff can get pretty bad real quick.
Yeah.
Might be even better to die like that than...
Right.
Okay, let me bring up this new map here for you.
There it is.
You see that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So this train has come to a stop. The front of it has stopped just parallel with you guys. And then so like it stops. That loud hissing that goes through each section, that eventually fades off as it goes further down the line past where you can see or hear. And the smoke that was billowing out of it, the stacks on the front of it, that stops. And now it, for all intents and purposes, it could have always been here. It's not doing anything now. And now the people are, the bravest are starting to venture outside to check on it. The sheriff and his deputies, the mayor, you can see him peeking out through like an opening in the wall. And, people are looking and talking, whispering. There you are. Nobody's ever seen anything like this before. So like eventually the sheriff makes his way out and he's standing pretty close to you and he's like looking at it. And then he starts to range out in front of it he gets like this look on his face as he sees that guard
Don't
there.
do that.
Watch the meat grinder,
Yeah.
Sheriff.
Like he's not in front. He's moved down far enough that he could
Frontish.
see the front
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
it. And you can see the look on his face. He's like, oh, disgusting. And eventually, like, looks up at the glassy area, and he's like, hello? Is anybody in there? But there's no answer.
Dare you to knock on it, Ash.
Hmm.
Don't worry, it's not a double dog dare,
No.
so I didn't think
Won't
you...
lose honor if I
Yeah.
don't do it. Yeah, I think the sheriff actually saying something will probably break the stunned moment I was in there just waiting for something to happen. So I'll probably start walking kind of in the direction that Crag and Esther are in from where we were, just to see what's happening with the other cars, or, you know.
I'll follow Asher, but I'll kind of get close to him. I'll be like, does it do what the doors do for you?
I don't know. Good idea, though. I can check on that, see if, what was it? I was seeing like there was a signal I could interact with.
Yeah,
in
you're
some
you're
cases,
basically you what you'd basically learn there without knowing what to call it is you're sending out a ping
Right.
to see what signal bounces back to you and let you know if there's a node there, right?
And I guess I'll try to force a similar thing, try to perceive it. Not because I can't trigger it yet, but I'll try to do something like that.
Okay.
See if I can force it. I don't know what you want from me.
A spirit test
Just because it's you, I'll put it in the tower, Brandon.
and electronics for you.
You want that one in the tower?
Yeah.
Ah, dang wounds. Ooh, nice.
Okay. So we'll deal with Ezekiel first. So Ezekiel, you're like looking at it and you're trying to focus your concentration. It's difficult because you don't know exactly what it is you're trying to do.
Yeah, it's like I've never forced it before. It
Yeah,
just-
right. It's like you know there's a muscle that will do what you want, but you don't know where it is or how to contract it.
It's like me trying to arch my eyebrows. I know it's possible, but I can't do it.
Yeah, but you're doing that, staring at this, and it nothing worked. Eventually, you realize you're just staring really hard at the train, and you don't get any sort of flash of anything. But Asher, you sent out this ping, and it comes back immediately.
Does a ping come back for each one of the cars all the way down the line?
No.
Okay.
No, it doesn't. But you do get the sense that it came from the train as a whole, which
Okay.
means you're getting like,
A mesh network.
Because
Right.
like my previous experience was up in the junkyard with like the Pac-Man machine. And
yeah,
that sort of stuff. Which was it like geolocated at the same time? Like I get a sense,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
But this is like, oh, the whole thing is.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably say that out loud. It's like this whole thing's, emitting basically, and I'll immediately interact with it in a foolhardy and sort of way. Like the basic sort of interaction I would have with a ping is like I'm trying to think Shadowrun, where you might just do like a
Get into its network.
Yeah, you're just looking at what it's composed of. Like what I think in the old way, like you'd look at what's all connected to the CPU and stuff, right?
Yeah.
That sort of thing. Or what the nodes are,
Okay.
if there are like sub nodes in it.
Yeah, when I hear him kind of whispering about, like something came back, I got a signal basically.
Yeah.
I'll switch over from attacking, but getting ready to heal just in case. Keep an eye on Asher.
So yeah, it'd be like that sort of basic search info type function or program to run if it is like a cyber deck.
Okay. Yeah. So you're basically examining the node
Right.
is basically what you're doing.
Analyzing.
And, in the past, like, the things that you've examined have generally had some relation to what they are.
Yeah.
When you were down in the old sewers examining a node at a door, it was obvious that it was a door, even if it wasn't
Yeah.
a.
And there are some nodes that are meant to receive. Basically, is this that kind of thing? Like,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And that's the sense you're getting, but it's like, this is the first time that you have encountered something
Yeah.
that needs to consent to that.
Okay.
That's the sense you're getting, that like you're sending a request.
Yeah, like because Pac-Man was like, "Play me,"
Uh-huh.
basically, right?
Yeah, that's essentially that's what is going on right now. So whatever that representation is in your mind, it's come up against an obstruction.
Right.
It's up against a firm hand saying no further. Right.
Yeah.
So you're looking at that, trying to get some sense. Like
Wow.
normally you would get, okay, this is the door I need to unlock. This is the game I need to play it. In this case, there's a node, and you recognize that. But
you're like repulsed the closer I get to it, basically.
yeah, but and you're gaining no information.
Yeah.
It's the consent meme.
Yeah,
I consent. Node consents.
I don't.
We no.
yeah,
Well, I also do a little bit of repair on my own electronics, so I know enough to go to brute force is how you break stuff. So I want to. Are we still gonna divvy up the styles of hacking in the way that Shadowrun kind of does it, where you can
Go around.
sleaze your way in, or you can just punch your way through?
Uh-huh.
Because I'd like to do more of like let's try something a little trickier to.
Time to access these saucy ports.
yeah. So that's the problem that you run into in this case, is that like this ping you sent out, that lets you know that node's there,
Yeah,
but it by no means allows interaction.
interaction.
Right. You know you're going to need to plug into
Pretty much
something.
firewall.
Oh,
once
actually,
I get
jack
there.
in.
Yeah.
Well, I'll start looking for that as
So
I
it's-
walk down to where Crag is to see if there's any like access panels on the outside of any of these cars.
Well, the first thing that you notice, you don't need to go down where Crag is that the front of this front car, it has a ladder up and to what's clearly a door.
Okay.
And you can see a panel on the outside of that there. And that would be the most obvious place to plug in. It has like keys on it too, for if someone had like a code.
Yeah.
But it also has a port.
Double dog dare ya.
You don't even have to in this case. I think, when you get invested into a problem, like you kind of lose the sensory data and you just become involved with the problem. I think the problem has not become, we have a ghost train in our town that is a menace. It's like
We have
access
high tech.
panels up there. That's where I need to go.
Yeah.
So I'll drop my bag and bring my cyber deck with me and my
Yeah, so I'll
gun
double
and start crawling up that ladder.
I'll double dog dare Asher, and then when he's actually starting to go, I'll be like,
Yeah, we'll see if the sheriff gets on my butt about it.
yeah, I'll start like kind of looking around, like maybe towards the sheriff. Like,
Is somebody gonna call out sense to that boy?
I can't do it because I stutter.
Okay, so Ezekiel, do a spirit check for me in the tower, and then you're going to walk up to that port.
Well, you said there was like a ladder that went up to like
Yeah.
the door, and there was a port up there. Yeah, then I'm starting to climb the ladder.
Okay.
I shed
Yeah,
my backpack and the stuff that I was carrying, like my dad's armor.
Ugh.
All right. So yeah, you get up to the door there, and you can see the panel, which has blood on it, by the way. But then there's the port there.
Always a good sign. Does this bear any similarities to like that thing I found in the junkyard, that fallout shelter or whatever it was, that I thought was like a tank at first?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Similar tech level
Similar
or something.
tech level?
Yeah.
Well, none of that stuff's hurt me before.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have any meat grinder on it, but that's how I'm reasoning.
All right. And then as you're watching it, you're looking at this thing. There's like a subtle shift, like maybe seeing something out of the corner of your eye. And now there's not a keypad. There's the best way to describe it would be a round dial with number 0
Okay.
through 9, like an
Combination
old
lock.
rotary
Yeah.
phone.
Oh, okay.
Just like an old rotary phone.
Okay.
Where there were buttons, now there's
And this
a
just
rotary.
changed as I was coming.
You wouldn't even be able to pinpoint when it happened. It's just suddenly that was the truth.
Is there any sort of technological explanation I might have for that? Like
No.
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 Oh, never mind. It's magic, Zeke.
No, at
Get
this
up here.
well, right now. So at this point, like the explanation that makes the most sense
Yeah.
is that you just hallucinated, because there's no technological understanding that would,
Yeah.
you know.
I thought I saw an access point up here.
Yeah, so you're like looking at that, and it turned to the rotary, but now you're up there on the ladder, and you got your foot on the step where the door is, and now you're starting to see this weird. There's like the part that you can see around the rotary and where your hand is, the metal's changed, but you can almost see a blurry line around where you're looking.
Mm.
So if you lean back, it looks like it has looked before, but
Get close.
the closer you are to where you have contacted it,
Right.
it sort of has a change now. Instead of a bare, angry blue steel, you've got steel with bits of rust, veins of rust, sharp edges, dried blood, that sort of thing.
Augmented reality or something.
Yeah.
Illusion spell. Yeah.
Except how would it work for me? I don't think I have cyber eyes, but
You don't.
illusion, right? But I'll be like, I don't. There's something funny about this train. But I'll call back to Zeke, and I'm like, I thought I saw an access port up here, but it kind of changing.
No, you still see the port.
When you lean far enough.
Back,
the port.
right.
Yeah.
You-
No,
no,
the port.
oh,
the
you-
keypad.
It
Even
was the
though the
keypad
keypad
that
changed, you still see a port. It's
Yeah.
just right next to the rotary dial.
Yeah, but I'll be talking over my shoulder. I guess I'm still like facing the access port, but I'll be like, yeah, something funny's happened up here. It keeps changing when I look at it. Like one thing, another thing.
To Ezekiel, he sounds like the main character from 1408 when he's talking to his tape recorder. No, Ezekiel will be like one hand on his hat trying to hold it down, and he's still looking around. He's
Yeah.
going to try to say, I see a lot of weird or like oddity going on right now, meaning Asher's
behavior.
acting weird, but he'll just lapse into a...
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say that planting my feet and dying works fine for me, but he'd prefer to be the first one down than the last one type of guy. He doesn't want to see his friends die.
Yeah.
Now the question is that going to be trouble for me, or should I just go ahead and plug in?
Ash, I've gotten two failed spirit checks here, man.
It's going to be awfully difficult for you to overcome your curiosity hindrance.
Yeah,
In
that's
this
what
case,
I'm
Asher.
playing out here. Yeah, I'll hear it distantly. You know his warnings that if you don't understand it, I suppose is how
I
it
guess
translates. It wouldn't be very good.
I guess I'm feeling something very odd if I'm...
Yeah.
Are we doing that kind of like Call of Cthulhu where you asked for something, so something's hinky,
Yeah. Oh,
Just
yeah.
don't know what.
Yeah. It's, yeah.
hair's
definitely.
starting to stand on end?
Yeah. You feel like something is very off with this train for sure. You can't pinpoint exactly, any one thing. I mean, aside from the general fact that there's a train in town suddenly, that it disobeyed even a rudimentary understanding of physics by stopping as fast as it did, right? Because nothing that is that heavy, moving
Right,
that
can
fast,
move. It
should
just
ever be able to
denies
stop
physics.
like that.
Well, yeah, but I'm in the mode, so like I'll let the cyber deck. I was carrying it. I'll let it sort of hang down so I can pull out the cable and run that jack into the jack point there.
All right.
Okay, well, we'll figure out what you're all about here.
Okay.
Train.
Yeah, so you slot that in there, and suddenly, your body goes slack, everything goes black. And then when you see that happen, Ezekiel, you that muscle you were looking for, you feel like somebody took a live wire and stabbed right on it, because suddenly, you get that flash of the world in a different realm, right? And you're looking, most of town looks the same, but it's all got that hazy, watery look to it. You can see down the line, your friends, you can see their auras, and you can tell just by looking at them, this one's hurt and this one's got a cold, that sort of thing. But you look at this train, and the only way you can see it is that there's an absence all along. It's like a black line in existence where nothing is beyond it. And then you start to see flashes in the sky above, and it's like purple, green lightning that takes an hour to strike. So you can see
it's all like slow motion.
You can see the slow motion, of the charge from the earth meeting in the air and then sparking off. And that's generally what you see when you're looking at this in the astral realm. But this time it's got like a sickness to it. And then when you're looking at this train, you get what you instinctively come to understand is an impression of the past. Right? It's not something happening now, but what happened was so terrible that the impression of it remains on this train.
Like shadows from a nuclear blast or something.
Yeah, and basically you're seeing as you look down the line of this train, you're seeing the aura of people in the past, pitiful, sick, injured people being forced into the various cars along the length of this train, and obviously against their will. And then in your astral mind, they're essentially being fed into a furnace, right? Now, the scale of it is so horrendous that it threatens your very sanity and your consciousness. But what is clear is that even though the event that you're seeing happened well over 300 years ago, it was so horrific that the residue remains when you're looking at this. And it's one of those things, like, as you're looking at it, it's so terrible, but this experience is so new to you that you don't actually know how to close your eye. And you know that if you just closed your eye, you wouldn't see it, but it's like a brand new muscle you've never used before. So do another spirit roll. Okay. So essentially you're standing there, stock still. Nobody else notices, but if they were to look at you, they'd see that you're like standing perfectly still and your eyes are sort of fluttering. And in your mind, you're like, just close my eye, close my eye, close my eye. You can't find the muscle to do it. But then that girl is right next to you and you can feel her grab a hold of your arm, and she's like, you have to close it. You have to close it. And that's enough encouragement, or maybe some knowledge is transferred. You don't know, but you're able to finally close your eye and you shut out those images. And when the world snaps back to normal and you're no longer looking at the astral, it's a struggle, but you're able to maintain consciousness.
Okay.
But you have this terrible oily feeling all over you, you know. And that's the information that you got from that something like that happened with this train a long time ago, but it was so terrible that the residue remains even now. And then Asher, everything went black, and now you feel that you're conscious, but you're in a space of absolute blackness. So there's nothing for your eyes to grab a hold of, and there's no sound for your ears to light on. You're just there, and it's literally the most disorienting that you've ever felt, because there's nothing for your senses to grab a hold of. And then suddenly you see two red dots in the darkness, and it would be terrifying if it wasn't so relieving, because now you have something for your senses.
Direction to move.
Yeah, but you see these two red dots as they approach, and then you hear a deep voice that seems to come from inside your head, you know, and it's like, welcome. All aboard.
Thanks.
We're
That
a
might
little
be
late,
a good spot.
so we're going to have to stop there for today.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. That'll be interesting. That threw me for a curve. Didn't expect a ghost train, Brandon. This has been a Deathwatch production. Thank you for listening.